Hey guys, today we're going to be doing some stuffed shells in the Dutch oven. Follow along, they're really easy to do, and I'm going to show you my own little personal spin and variation. So, we're going to go over your needed ingredients quickly. Going to need one box of jumbo shells, and we're going to cook those. I've already got my pot of water boiling for them. Going to need one good big can of pasta sauce. It says, 24 ounces or 26 ounces. This one's 32, but I don't care if I get a little extra sauce. It calls for parsley and oregano. But if you know about Italian seasoning, it's parsley and oregano. So I'm going to just combine what's needed with that. I'm going to need 4 cups of cottage cheese, or 2 pounds. Small container's a pound. Big container, it's not a pound, see? It's 1.5 pounds. I'm just showing you. Don't grab one of these and think that's going to be enough. You're going to need more than this big carton. You're going to need 2 smaller ones, and usually you can actually get 2 smaller ones cheaper together than just one big one. Something to think of. You're going to need Parmesan cheese. I prefer, this good shredded stuff, but if you need to, you can use El Grino Cano. And we're going to need a bunch of shredded mozzarella cheese, a couple eggs, along with salt and pepper. So, hang tight. We're going to throw all this in to the bowl. Oh, and I do have my charcoal preheating as well. So, pasta water's got to boil. We're going to add our shells. We're going to let this come back up to a boil and let them cook until they're nice and al dente. So we're going to add our cottage cheese. And I forgot to mention, the original recipe calls for ricotta. So any diehard Italians, don't kill me. This is my variation. Okay? Plus, cottage cheese is a staple in my house. My wife and daughter eat it like it was the only food on earth. So, I'm going to add about 2 cups of shredded mozzarella. And, just so you know, one of these little pound containers. Or you could drop the bag on the floor. Derp. That holds right around 2 cups. So, which is what we want. Now, we're going to add our Parmesan. Of course, I should have opened the bag when I had 2 hands and not holding the camera. There we go. Sorry, blocking the camera. We want 3/4 cup of that. And again, actually, most of the directions are on the back of your pasta box. But this is my variation. Cottage cheese. I'm going to add a dash of garlic powder. Or 2. Just for a little extra kick. Now it calls for a tablespoon of parsley and a teaspoon of oregano. So, just a heaping tablespoon of Italian seasonings. A little pepper. You can add salt, but I usually don't care. And there's the parm from the El Grino Cano, just because I didn't have enough in the bag. And more diehard Italians will kill me for that. So we're going to mix all this together. And I'll show you what we do next. Sorry guys, I forgot the eggs. Join the party too. We'll get those mixed in. But the sauce stays out. So right here I have some sausage, Italian style sausage. There also happens to be some onions and peppers in there because this is actually left over from pizza. I cooked up the whole pound of sausage, had about half left over, after making some homemade pizzas. And so I, along with the onions and peppers, I just put it all together and I actually had it in the freezer. So I'm thawing it out, warming it up, and this is going to be my other modification to our stuffed shells. I'll show you how this incorporates in just a minute. So to our greased Dutch oven, we're going to add about half a cup of our tomato sauce, and I forgot a spoon. Reach. I'm just going to kind of spread that. Doesn't have to be perfect, and if you want to add a little more, which I do, I'll add just a little more. So we kind of spread it evenly across the bottom of the pan. And then I actually want to add our about half pound of Italian sausage. Don't like the camera, man. So we got that in there. And go ahead, just use our spoon, move everything around, get it kind of mixed in nice and even-ish. And again, you can use about half a pound of fresh cooked Italian sausage, or like me, I had this left over as pizza topping mix. So some extra onions and peppers, but what parent doesn't want more vegetables in their dinner, right? So, pasta shells are cooked, and in order to be able to hold them, instead of being boiling hot, I dumped out the hot water, filled the pot back with cold water, then dumped them out in the colander and have it sitting on a tea towel just for dripping purposes. I brought my bowl over, and we're going to fill these up. Just taking a spoonful, fill that up, put it in on top of our first layer of sauce, and repeat. Usually helps if you got some tunes or TV or something to watch while you do this, because it's going to take a while to fill all these shells. But it'll be delicious when it's done. So, got my music going as I was filling shells. First layer, we'll just give it a sprinkling of sauce on top. Make sure everyone gets at least a little sauce. It doesn't have to cover it all. You don't need a lasagna-esque layer. But I still got more shells, more filling, so we're going to keep going. Alright, last layer of shells filled up, and we'll just go ahead and cover it with more sauce. And we want plenty of sauce on this final layer because we don't want the pasta to dry out too much. So if you got to use up your whole can, that's okay. And it'd be helpful if I kept it in front. But I promise you, camera and tripod are on their way. Hopefully by Monday next week, there'll be a lot less iPad footage. So we want about 18 on top and about 9 on bottom. And we're going to let this go about 35 minutes. Go. So here we go. Let's take a look. Oh, that looks good. Does that look good, kiddo?
Yeah.
Let's eat it. Should we eat it?
I
Okay, let's go eat.